Okay, camera's rolling. Come take a seat. Come take a seat, man.
All right.
Come on over here. This is I wouldn't say it's long overdue, but it's overdue.
This is definitely overdue.
We've done you said before, multiple WhatsApps.
I think we've done about 100 Zoom calls.
Yeah.
We've done 1,000 messages on the WhatsApp, emails.
We've done everything.
Proper virtual communication, right?
Everything but meet in person. And then you guys came on Tuesday. Today's Friday, so 3 days since we met. And I just want to make sure everyone understands this. And we made a joke about this, but I've only seen this guy. How you're seeing him, I've only seen him. So, this up.
It's
so
only ever this much in the Zoom, right?
I'm not being rude. I just didn't know he was 6'4"?
6'3".
I didn't know he
I'll
was...
take a 4.
I didn't know he was 6'4". So when he came in, and Mick was like, yo, wait till you see Z. I'm like, why? So what do you mean? He's tall. I'm like, no way, man. And this guy walked out around the corner just like this. I'm like, okay, you got to play on our TBT team.
Are we making that official? Let's do it.
This is Jules, man.
Honestly, I'll just say it's so exciting to be here. But it feels like I brought the UK weather with me. I was expecting sunshine.
This is Pars's fault.
Well, to be fair, I checked the weather report for the whole of May. It's been pretty nice.
It was nice.
I was like, right, I'm going to pack light. And then my mum actually told me, take a jacket with you. Mums always say, take a jacket with you. Yeah, take a jacket. I'm like, okay, I'll take a jacket. And then we land at Pittsburgh Airport. I had a breeze of a time through customs, amazing support from the staff at Pittsburgh Airport. And I step outside and it's raining. I'm like, I still feel like I'm in England. I thought it was supposed to be sunny, so where's the good weather?
Both times, so we came to Pittsburgh for the training camp.
Yes.
Unfortunately, or the tryout, not training camp, tryout.
Yeah.
It was gloomy, cold, rainy, just like this. So I told Pars, I'm like, please tell me Pittsburgh has better weather. And he said, brother, I promise you, when you come for training camp, it will be beautiful and sunny. Now, we did get yesterday. Yesterday was nice.
No, we had...
and this morning.
We've had a day and a half of sunshine.
And it was great.
And it's been beautiful.
So we're not hating on Pittsburgh. I like Pittsburgh. Great city.
The city? Magnificent.
Yeah, great city.
We had a little drive through yesterday. Post Malone is playing. And you just see the vibe of the city. It's quality.
There was 4,000 or 5,000 people, I feel like, outside. What we saw in the lines and everything. At least, right?
Yeah.
Probably more than that.
It felt more.
Yeah, probably 10, 20,000, probably.
Yeah.
But, okay, so let's rewind just briefly. So I would say...
Why are we here? That's what we're doing.
Yeah, why are we here?
Why are we sat here?
Yeah. First of all, this was his idea. He found this little plugin. And shout out to La Roche University, Jen, everyone hosting us. If you guys don't know, we're having our whole training camp here. So for basically a whole week, we're in the dorms, we're living life here, we're using the pitch. They've hooked everything up for us for Brown Ballers FC, which is huge. So Pars and Jen hooked that up. So La Roche, man, the Red Hawks, we appreciate you guys very, very much.
Respect.
Okay, and the setup looks nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
The setup looks nice. But we're here because 2 years ago, had this idea and concept. We've talked here and there, and then we stopped talking for a while because we couldn't get the funding for the first year. Fast forward, we got lucky. We had a breakthrough. I think it was in January or something. I had told you guys. Somehow we've got everything secured and we're ready to roll. So we also put this together very fast.
Yeah.
Very fast. And it's obviously a big credit to you guys and you and the coaching staff as well. But now we're here. So basically 2 years to now we're here.
So just to recap on 2 years, 2 years of conversations, and we had I think we had a chat late summer in 2024.
Yeah.
About the possibility of doing it.
Yeah, because we wanted to do this. Yeah.
Yeah, and these things take time, and there's a lot of negotiation that happens. Obviously, behind the scenes, to make something look simple, there's a lot of work that goes into it, a lot of conversations, a lot of talks, and a lot of late nights, and we're all busy with our own projects and everything, and I'm someone who will commit to a project if I feel like there's something in it, more than just glory, but there has to be something bigger involved in it. There has to be value, there has to be purpose, there has to be something that we are doing for our communities, and that's one thing we've always had mutual respect for each other in terms of platform that we have, in terms of Desi Ballers that I run, and Brown Ballers that you founded. It's always been that mutual respect of what we're trying to do for the overall, and you can see that compound. You've just passed 70,000 followers on Instagram, which is
crazy.
Amazing. So congratulations on that. I think on the last pod, the first pod we did, you passed another milestone. I can't remember. Was it 50?
I think it was 50.
which was only a couple of months ago.
Yeah, it was only a couple months ago, which is again crazy to see the growth of everything.
And big shout out to everyone who's following.
Yeah,
I mean,
the support is
that's where it
insane,
comes
man, from the community. Like,
yeah,
it's been really fun. But yeah, like going back to that too, like again, when we first talked, and we have another podcast if you guys want to go look at it on the YouTube channel, but just going through your history and
yeah,
again, obviously we didn't know, like I knew of the platform, but we don't know each other.
true.
But getting to understand, okay, this guy has been doing this for a long time,
Yeah.
right? And again, before social media, like reporting, like doing the
Yeah,
actual stuff.
The prehistoric age of newspaper. That's when I started.
Yeah, newspaper,
right?
which is like,
Yeah,
again, but it goes to show like the experience and knowledge you have. And again, now taking that with Daisy Ballers and building that up. And I told you, every time I see you guys post, it's like, it's a new baller. Or it's just something new. And it's like, man, there's so much out there. And I told you this before.
yeah,
But again, a lot of that experience and knowledge now you've brought to the team. Connections, resources too.
Do you know what it comes down to? It's like there's no point having all that knowledge and experience and understanding and connections if you don't do something effective with it.
100%.
So when we had this conversation, it was, I think we all got to a level we thought we can all work together. First of all, is do we like each other?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, not to be soppy about it, but do we like each other? It has to work because you can have a transactional kind of relationship where you just do stuff together and there's not heart in it.
Yeah.
And anything like to do like, when we talk about value and what we're trying to do for our communities, there has to be some kind of heart involved in it, and that's key for me. And I have to find and work with people who do that. And I think we mentioned this in the first pod about, and even the second episode was part of about how we've been working across time zones and different countries.
Which is tough.
Not just the players, but how we've been working.
Yep.
Because normally when you do these kind of things, you want to be in the same room, hash out ideas, and I've had to do late night calls, and you've had to do.
You're always on a late night
and,
call. Yeah, exactly.
And it's like our time differences are wild, but when you really believe in something and you want to make something happen for your community, you go all in, and that's what we've done here. And this is the fruits of that. And I just want to say thank you very much for the opportunity, honestly, because it's the whole butterfly effect of like if I don't know Paris and Paris doesn't introduce me to you and we have the connection and it's like, you know, we actually could do something together, and then you bring Coach Hamrick in it as well. All of a sudden there's synergy, but it can all fall flat in the face because we can all be like, yeah, we like each other, but can this actually happen?
Yeah.
And like I think you mentioned just a few minutes ago about funding, every aspect of what we've done with this team has been hard work.
100%.
And no one's work has been, like in terms of input, has been less than the other. It's all been equal.
Yeah.
We've all had clear defined roles and we've all helped each other where we can. And I think that was the key part of getting here now. And I think the biggest thing for me is being here in America, in Pittsburgh, and hopefully soon, a few days going down to North Carolina. Yeah. It's wild to be here on a project that we worked on and created. Yeah. And we make come true. And I think I've always heard other people talk about, oh, when you put your mind to something, you can make things happen. And you're like, it's actually true. Yeah. So this is
you're seeing it all come to fruition, like
exactly,
you said.
Exactly. Yeah. And we've all been involved in other projects. You've been involved with TST. You've got your other ventures as well. And when we brought things to life, but this is on a scale that
it's a different level in meaning. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, cross countries. Time zones, thought processes, and even ages as well. We're all different ages. We have
different stages of life.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
You're very young, what, 24, 25? So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 24, 25.
And but when you think about it, like we've taken away certain factors that would perceived as barriers. So age is not a barrier, experience is not a barrier, knowledge is not a barrier. It's literally I can bring something to the table, but I might lack in something. Where then you come in and you bring that. And plug that gap. So we're saying, right, what are we trying to achieve overall? And then how do we break it down? Who's best for it? And I think everyone that's been involved in the project, we've name checked some. I'm sure we'll mention it in the edits and everything. And you'll see more of it in the content on socials. Every single person has been the reason why this is happening. Whether it's small or big, because the smallest thing, it's like, you know, you got a cog in a machine. If that's missing, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. It won't turn.
So you need that little tweak there, like friends that I have who recommended players or made connections for me.
Huge, yeah.
Again, the investors that we've had come in, big shout out to them. Big shout out to our sponsor, Lexa, who made some fire kits that you're going to see in the coming days.
Really nice, yeah.
Who also like I
It's
just
kind
want
of like
to shout out everyone.
It's just kind of
that's
like what you're saying.
involved in
Like
projects.
I like the analogy of the cog, right? Like we have this massive machine, and like it's not just like one or two. It's the whole coaching staff. So Brown Ballers is like me and G. Then it's got you got Z, Amric, Pars, coaching staff. Then you have all the players. Tej, massive
Big
role.
shout out to
I'm
Tej.
still sorry he can't be here.
Yeah.
Then you got Alexa, we got Octave, we got Bulldog, we got Blinkling, we got Harbinder, we got all these people. We got Ro, our photographer. Like these are all things. You know, Canveer comes down from Toronto. He's helping out. We have India on Wheels giving us lunch.
Oh, amazing.
We have La Roche giving us the university.
Yes.
I'm talking to a few people in Cary who want to help with the hotel, and then maybe we have a dinner. So it's like these are all pieces, you know.
Versus everybody, let's not forget them as well.
Mark,
that's exclusive.
Yeah, that's exclusive. That's great.
That's
Mark and
exclusive.
Sean, like versus
Yeah,
everybody.
shout
It's a really cool collab. Amir Khan, who's gonna do something with us.
Or I can't.
Or
Can't wait
Khan,
to
like
meet
you know, like these are all things. Even just the TST guys, like it's all this puzzle.
Yeah.
You know, we were trying to over 2 years trying to piece. Then our core came together,
Yes.
and then it just all started to like domino effect. You know, just like
Yes.
slowly, and then you turn around. We wake up and you're on a flight here. I'm coming from Canada, and then now we're 4 days into training camp.
Yes.
Tomorrow's the day off, so we have 1 day of training camp left on Sunday.
Yep.
We drive, and you wake up. It's media day. 1 hour on the field, 1 hour on the pitch of practice. All we get. Every team gets the same. And you play 2 games on Wednesday, and another on Thursday.
And what a first game we're going to have.
And please,
And we'll go into
yeah,
that.
please.
We can go into it now.
It's cool because
and what it means for me in
yeah,
that first game
I
as well.
want you to say that. And also, like, if you can give some context. So, like, obviously, there's a lot of sports fans and different sports around the world, but not a lot of people, I think, are soccer fans that are specifically, you know, on the platform because we haven't done a soccer team before.
Yes.
It's just facts. And we've posted, and it's been great because in the last year, I haven't met you specifically. We've done some collabs together, but I've also seen more soccer. So we're starting to, okay, there's a lot of football players. Let's start growing it. So you see it, which is cool. So I feel like the fan base is coming. But once we
Are
play,
we saying soccer or football? I mean, it's
So I
TST. So
I don't know if you see how I do both.
We're going to go with soccer here. Because
Okay, we'll go
obviously
soccer.
TST,
So I do
right?
both because I don't want to get in trouble. So I keep saying
I
every
mean, it's a hard one for me to say, you know.
Yeah.
It's football.
because it is football.
But we'll go with soccer.
We'll do a soccer
Because of TST.
because of TST.
Yeah.
But you know, it's again just going back to that. Like, we're starting to grow the culture and build it with this game now. So, but when I tell people, yo, we're playing against West Ham United, and people are like, oh, okay, like where do they play? You know, like or like just that's a big team. I'm like, yo, this is a storied franchise and team, and so like, can you explain? Like, first, can you just explain like West Ham United and just give us some context? Like, you have obviously very heartfelt personal stories with this club.
So, just to put it into context, I'm born and bred in East London, so from London, UK, but specifically East London. And West Ham is my team. I support them. I've been through the highs and the lows, and there's been a lot of lows, especially the season just gone. But they're my team, and when you have a team, you love them regardless of what happens.
Yep.
And it was so funny. Just before the draw came out, I was like, if we get West Ham,
Yeah, you said that.
and we can show the
Yeah,
text,
we have the
you can
screenshot
bring
of
it
it. He
up,
literally said that.
put it on the screen.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to smash them.
Yeah.
I want to beat them because my loyalty's here, and I put it on the table is Brown Ballers FC.
Yeah.
No, West Ham on my team. Especially what they've done to me this season. I've sat through a lot of testing games, and I need to like just have closure on this season. So we have to beat them.
We have to do it.
No, I mean, look, it's wild to, and also I've been thinking about it, talking to friends of mine, and saying that. So in our group we have West Ham United, we have 10-15 FC, and we have Villarreal, who are bringing some of their legends down, including Giuseppe Rossi and Cisco, and that's going to be wild in itself because of what Villarreal have done in Spanish football and in the Europa League. But for me personally, you know, when you dream about creating something, and let's say from a football context, like my team, this team here, against my team, it's the wild thing. It's like, you know, you got your
The
two
two worlds
kids,
clashing. Yeah.
you got your kids
Oh, yeah,
competing
yeah.
against each other. Like, where does your heart lie?
Yeah.
And that's what you'd think it would be. For me, though, when I back a project, I'm backing my team 100%.
100%.
And my team, in the context of TST, is
BBFC
the one I'm
Brown
wearing
Baller,
on my badge. But it is wild to think that it's West Ham United that we drew, because I think I manifested it.
Yeah.
I think
you
said
did.
that
You said
I
it
want
before.
West Ham. We had that our group chats. We were in Zoom. I said,
Yeah.
I want West Ham. I want to beat them.
Yeah.
For us, mentality was always that we want to go out and win, and we will take on anyone that exists. Now, we're under no illusion. There are some very, very strong squads in TST. They've all been announced in the last few days, and you look at some of the names, and it can be overwhelming. You look at some of the names, look at the structure, and there's not that many weaknesses. So that means the gaps are very small between the teams, especially in tournament football, which is a good thing, because then it's just the best team on their day. That's what matters, and what we've been trying to do with our team is getting those small marginal gains where we can. Big shout out also to Ron for coming out today.
Big shout out to Ron, yeah.
Do you want to give a little background to Ron?
Yeah, Ron came today, head of strength and conditioning at UPMC. He does a lot more than just strength and conditioning, but incredible mind. He came down today with two and a half hours with the guys. He did breathing, taught the guys nose breathing, the importance of nose breathing, obviously for football players or athletes in general. We did hip and strength mobility. We did, different sprint and testing. And then at the end, he did like a full cool down to open up, again, their hips again, the hamstrings, the ankles. Basically what he did was a nice recovery session for the boys. And at the end, and the amount of knowledge he gave, those are things that you can't put a price on.
No,
do you know what I mean? Like, because that's invaluable to the players, because it's all new to them. They took away all that knowledge for free. And he's probably been doing this for 30, 40 years. And I don't think you saw his office.
No.
But Ron...
I've seen the photos.
Yeah, so the episode with Ron's coming out soon. You guys will actually see all the different workouts. But in his areas, he's worked with all the top athletes you can imagine. They've had guys like Neymar and all the top football players come down too. So very, very high knowledge, highly reputable guy. But thank you, Ron.
I'll just segue to Ron, because I'm just going back to all the people that have been involved with that project. And it just comes to mind of this happened, that happened, and I want to make sure I give credit to everyone. And even if we don't mention it on this chat, definitely will give credit too. But going back to what I was saying in terms of how we're preparing, like for me, West Ham United, even though it's my club and it should be emotional, for me in this tournament, than any other team. We prepare where we're going to prepare for victory and we're prepared to win. But we're under no illusion that this is a weak team that's coming out.
No.
There's some legends that are playing, like West Ham legend. You've got Ricardo Vazquez, who's very important in scoring a playoff. The winning goal in the playoff final for West Ham to get them back into the Premier League. Got Mario Zarate is playing. Anton Ferdinand is a very key figure in the promotion challenge that we had back in 2004-2005. And then you've also got Ginger Collins, right? You've got James Collins playing as well.
Yeah, he's come back too,
There's a lot of names there, but they've also got a squad that's quite talented in terms of like small-sided game, futsal. If you go onto the TST's pages, you'll see some of the clips they've been putting up. So again, under no illusion that they're coming just for a jolly. That everyone's coming to win. It's $1 million prize. You don't enter tournaments with $1 million prize if you don't want to go for the victory, and that's exactly our mentality as well. So that's what I'm looking forward to most, is take the emotion out of anything that you like this team or getting overruled by the situation. It's about, we want to compete, they want to compete. Let's see who wins on the day. And leave no stone unturned in that preparation. That's the key part. And that's why I mentioned Ron, because that kind of thing doesn't happen if you're not taking things seriously. And I think we've always had the intention from the beginning that when we're going to do this, we want to go for the victory. And then it's all about reverse engineering, going, how do we get that win? How do we get those marginal gains? What do we need to do? What knowledge do we have? And that's where we've tapped into each other. That's where Paris has been absolutely like invaluable to this whole thing.
Insane,
He's a friend of both of ours. He's like a little brother to me. And he's really like like when we talk, he's like have a really like strong bond with each other. But when it's business, it's business. Like you
can separate it.
He can separate it and be very focused and get things done. And he's got some exciting projects coming up, and I just want to see him succeed in everything that he does, and same for you and everyone that's involved with us.
Absolutely.
And I think for me, I'm just sitting here like sometimes in a shock state, going, "This is actually happening," and then I have to reset myself, going, "No, but we got work to do."
Yeah.
I'm giving my chance to enjoy this moment as well.
That's important.
These things don't happen often, and there are people who would have doubted or think, "Will this actually happen?" And we were quite vocal on social media at the beginning, saying we've announced the coaching staff. So like we've announced Paris as general manager, myself as assistant general manager, Amrik here as the coach, and then in terms of socials, then when we were announcing the players, we had like a flow announcing.
Yeah.
If you were following that and you saw a tail off in terms of content, it wasn't because we that tailed off. The work was continuing, was working hard as ever.
Let's keep going. Yeah.
But it got to the point where you're thinking, where do we put our attention and focus? And attention and focus had to be on all the little things to make this happen.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll get to speak to some of the players and they'll tell you their experiences so far. I would say that everyone has made the effort in the back room and the operations team to make the best environment as possible for these players.
Yeah.
And we can go on to talk about some of the players that we've got as well. And,
absolutely.
Like everyone saw the first announcement that we made. Arden Young, absolute legend of a player, 11-a-side and a small-sided game. England, 6-a-side captain, coach, player.
Incredible
anyone you
accomplishments.
speak to loves the guy. You know, you want him in your team. You see some of his clips. He plays for a team called, he represents B2R in a small-sided game. They play money tournaments for fun and go out and win it, and he just goes enjoys himself, and he's got such a passion and a commitment, and he takes small-sided football serious. You know, some people will be like, can an 11-a-side player play 7-a-side? He's going to have fun and just joke around. He takes everything he does seriously, and what that does is it brings up everyone to that level, because you can't help but be inspired by him. Now, you may or may not know, he played in the Baller League that's been taking place in the UK. Week 1, he played for M7, and in week 2, he got injured. And when that happened, I think we had a exchange of messages. Arj is down. I think that was the wording, just very simple. And me personally, I was very emotional about it, because I was like, one, he was our number 1 pick.
Yeah.
2, he's a natural leader that we wanted to build everything around. But most importantly, it was just, forget TST, forget Baller League. It's like, that's a player that we know, that's someone that we've got to know.
Yeah.
And we just seen him hurt. Like, what can we do to help him? And, you know, I think we mobilised around him, make sure that he's very much part of our team, and he's out here with us. To be fair, his mentality is ridiculous, because when I spoke to him the next day, he was like, yeah, I'm good, I'm a fighter, I'll play. I just need a few weeks to recover. We're like, okay, cool.
He's
no
different.
problem.
He's definitely built different.
Yeah, he's just built different.
Yeah.
And having him here has been immense. He arrived with me on the plane.
Yeah.
Came in, met some of the boys for the very first time. Not had any contact with them. Immediately, there's just that aura.
Yeah.
Not too big him up too much. You know, I don't want to put on a pedestal, but there is something about him that people just resonate around. And I'm sure there's people who play in the small sided and will kind of vouch for that as well. But he's been very important to giving us the inside knowledge and tactical nous of how to play the small-sided game, and he's going to give us those kind of marginal gains. But it's just disappointing for me for people not to be able to see what he brings.
What he can do, exactly, especially at this level, right? Since the first day he got here, I saw the leadership. Like he embraced that role fully. Like, hey, I might not be here to play, but I'm here to make the impact on and off. You know, the leadership, like running part of the practices, like, and I got to see firsthand his knowledge and experience, which is cool to also see, because you don't get a first time meeting all these guys, but he immediately stepped up. So I can only imagine if he was playing, that would probably be 10x, right? Because he's on the pitch now with the guy, so he's not taking any BS, anything like that. So I'm just happy he's here, and then he was able to come, you know, barring the injury. He's still talking about, you know, trying to wrap up and play, which I love the mentality.
We see what happens on Wednesday.
Hey, you know, I love athletes with that type of mentality, right? There's no negative. He's just like, he's positive. He's like, if I'm good, I'm good. If I can wrap up and play, I'll go. So I love that. Again, we're gonna go to Kerry soon. You mentioned before we started about how it's nice to be on this side, because like sometimes you watch from home, or maybe you help, but you're not really helping. This is, you know, your hand is here, right? In it. Like, he's a massive part in this team. So it's gonna be fun to see just how you are when you get there. Because because you asked me like how it was for TBT, and obviously for me, training camp is always cool, but once you get there in the arena and we practice on the arena, like then everything clicks because you got it on the jumbo screen. It says brown ball. The logo's on the jumbo screen, and they're welcoming you with all the jerseys and stuff. It's like, okay, this is like, you see the camera guys, okay, this is real. And I know TST is going to be a level up in terms of production, money, scale. So even for me, I'm excited because I feel like it's going to be a brand new experience.
Yeah.
For all of us. And then they have like Athletes Village, and they have all these things that we're going to experience, which I've never had for TBT.
Right.
So I just feel like it's a brand new thing for us. And like you said, it's also about taking it in, but it's also about locking in. So it's a mixture of both, right?
100%. I had a voice note from one of my friends. Like, he's run tournaments and managed teams and kind of like money tournaments and like tournaments that be on TV. And one thing he mentioned, and he speaks from experience, having played himself and been in a situation where it's been it can be a pressure, but you can be overwhelmed by it, the situation as well. Like bright lights, cameras, fans, stars, people you see on TV. All of a sudden, or it could be a simple thing. You just see, they're pinging the ball around. You see the opposition, they're playing quite fast. They're moving quick.
Yeah,
he's looking.
He gets nervous.
Strong. All those things start playing in your mind. No doubt, there is a part of you. We're all human beings. Well, there are situations where we will be overwhelmed by. Like when we walk in, there's nothing here that we can prepare for that moment. When we go into that situation, there's nothing that prepares for it. It's going to be on TV, streamed on YouTube. You will have the social media clips. Everything's going to be visibly there, watched worldwide.
Yeah.
And if we start painting that in the players' head and our heads, we can be overwhelmed right now. But we're also going to understand that we're there for a job.
Yeah.
That's the key part to remember. And that's the thing that when you went to TBT, as soon as the buzzer went, it's game time, it's action.
You lock in.
Right, you do lock in.
Yeah.
And I think it's so vital for us to count on the experience of anyone who's had experience of either arranging events or being part of events, just tap into every single knowledge of it. Like we're talking about Arjun, we've got Ibrahim Ugrata as our goalkeeper. He's played in big tournaments. He played in the Baller League last week. He's played in the Kings League. He's played in front of big crowds. He's played in the Sansan Cup. He's been involved. He's very much involved in the media space, the kind of influencer celebrity space. For him, he's not overawed by Premier League footballers or being fun. And that's what we're going to tap into, because he knows where the reset is. And those kind of players, we've got a lot of young players in that team, by the way. I'm very excited to see how they express themselves on the field. I've been watching them play, and you're like,
because it's different also when it's the
mental.
game time. It's different.
But what I've noticed is they pick up knowledge so quickly from the likes of Arjun and Ibrahim.
Like they listen.
They listen. Yeah. And they absorb it quickly. Now, game time can mean anything, because with all the best will in the world, Mike Tyson said it best, right? Everyone's got a plan until I punch him in the face. So we can have the best game plan, and you can concede in the first 10 seconds. How are we going to react?
What exactly?
And this is where you need a strong coaching staff, you need strong support system, you need the strong players, you need the leaders. I believe we have that. We've also got a player that's coming in who's just played in the World Cup
Musa.
for England. Unfortunately, they got knocked out.
Very
unfortunately against the home team, Azerbaijan. But he scored an absolute
beautiful goal.
Yeah. We're going to hopefully clip that and put that on
we got to clip that,
and when he comes in, he's another player. It's just he doesn't get overawed by these situations. And I think that's where, for us, not to be overwhelmed, we're going to count on those guys' experience. From my side of things, I've had experience in arranging events, hosting, talking in front of like thousands of people, small crowds, big crowds, and it takes time to get to a stage of not having stage fright, but you always have that nervousness.
I think it's always there. Yeah.
And it's always that little.
But it's a good thing.
What's a good thing? What should I say first, and how am I going to speak? And then you go, what's my reset? And I think it's so important, like the mental side of things, and that we've tapped into in the last couple of days, and also things that we've talked about. I would say that the conversation that we've had over the last few months, putting this all together, allows us to quickly get to work when we're here. Because this is the first time we're meeting in person, which for me is wild. right? It is wild. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? But we should be in the same room together because there's much more than TST for us to work on.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? There's
a lot of opportunity.
We're making the world a bigger place for us to work in now.
Yeah.
And looking at, we were joking the other day about whether we could take part in other sports and how that would work, because it's just for our point of view, it's like, can we make something happen? Yes. Do we have a track record of it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
What else can we get involved in? It's like having the attitude now. Whatever happened at TST, I want to win $1 million.
Yeah.
You want to win $1 million.
Yeah.
We want to beat every team that's in front of us. Every other team has that same mentality. Whatever happens, it will never be said that we had an idea, we thought it was a great idea, we looked at it, but we didn't follow it through, and we're looking at what could have been.
Sitting back, exactly. You never want to have those doubts or those feelings. Yeah.
I have no regrets with anything that we've done. With anything, there's always been highs and lows and challenges.
Always.
And what's been beautiful is how we've overcome certain challenges, big and small. Without going into too much detail, I think it's been a case of, just say Arjun gets injured, what do we do?
Yeah, what's the pivot? Yeah.
Right. Have we've lost a big player? Is that the end of everything? No, we will find a way and just move on and crack on. Had the trials in Pittsburgh, right? From there, we found some really good ballers, really good players. We've had players who then had to pull out for one reason, personal reasons.
Yeah.
That's just what's going to happen. Now it's up to us how we react to it, and then that reaction is how the rest of, like, our team, our players are part of the big unit. Mm-hmm. So how we react as the elders or the leaders is what they will see and how they'll solve their problems. And I think that's the key thing that I want to come out of this from a personal perspective is we overcame challenges and we made it there. The players are going to overcome challenges. They're going to go behind. They might get a referee call that doesn't go their way. Right. They might feel aggrieved by something, but they're going to overcome it because we've led them to that point of thinking like that. And I want to enjoy this moment and these weeks. We work really hard, not to go like, oh no, let's not show emotion, let's not show joy, let's not have a smile on our face, let's go game face all day. I don't want to do that. I want to go there, enjoy it, and have a smile on our face.
Yeah, absolutely.
Regardless of what happens. But when it's game time, it's goal time. And that's what the key part's going to be. That we're going to keep that, and we have an amazing, I think we have an amazing sports staff. It's an amazing team,
absolutely.
Where everyone's come together.
We've come together, we've clicked, and like you said, we've executed. That's the biggest thing. We've just, from idea to everything in between, we've executed, and we're here. And
that's, do you know when you talk about executing, we give a shout out to one of your projects as well? No. Come on, let's talk about it. No, because it's just to let people know. So you got Sharp and Execute, right? Tell us about that. And I'll tell you the reason why I'm mentioning it.
Okay. Shut up and execute is like a mantra or like a way that I live my life. So I've created I've created a time boxing planner. So it's like a book, but it's a way to plan your day. So you write down all your tasks, you basically time block them in certain increments of time during the day, and you just knock shit out. The whole concept of it was people always come to me asking how to do things or how do I get ahead or how did I build these brands. And they're like, I can't do this, I can't do that, I don't have money, I don't have this. I'm like, just like shut up and execute. Like, you don't need any of that stuff. You don't need time, resources. All you literally need is you and the willingness to and the want to just do stuff. And I feel like that's where we've all connected and bonded a lot. And even like I said with Paris too, it's just like, he just again told me today before we left, he's like, this, this is why we get along so well. It's like we both just get shit done. We both just do shit.
Yes.
And I feel like that's like what I built my whole career on is like doing stuff, executing at a high level, but just being fast. Like we have an idea, let's do it. We have a post, let's do it. Because if we procrastinate, my dad always says this. He used to say this: procrastination is the #1 killer of all human beings. It kills human beings. It kills your dreams. It kills everything around you. So like, why procrastinate? You're only gonna live one life, so just go do it.
And that's why I'm working with it. Honestly, like being honest. When you come across people who have that can-do attitude, and just say, let's just go on with it. And if we make mistakes or whatever, we'll just figure it out. And we've got problems, we'll figure it out. And it's what we're talking about for the last 5 minutes. What I was mentioning and what I was emphasizing is that the mindset is there that these are the people that I want to work with who get things done. I would say we've all come across people who have great ideas and they talk themselves out of it. I've been guilty of that in the past.
Of course.
I've talked myself out of so many things.
Same.
And then the motivation then comes. I mean, we can watch clips on YouTube and everything, but I've got you like as a contact, as a friend, as a brother, that I can just go, right, what's my way to do this?
Yeah.
And it's not an age factor, it's not an experience factor. And that's the other thing I wanted to mention is that with our team, we've got the age group goes from 18 to 30.
Yeah. For
players with
yeah.
various ages,
Yeah.
experiences, knowledge, where they played, what they've done on the field, what they've achieved. But there is no fear of one of our youngers calling out an elder on the pitch if they haven't done something right.
Yeah.
It's not done in a rude way, but it's done in a way that's going to hopefully make us better and with reason as well. And that's the key part is knowledge and experience, and you can seek it from anyone. And anyway, it does not matter that you have to have 40 years in the game.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
To get things done. There's youngers who are getting things done quicker and faster, which then motivates me to go, well, that is the way to do it. We've been, as a community, sometimes shackled by the thought of, well, if we do this, what will people think? How's it going to go?
Yeah.
What if it doesn't go quite right? But what if it does go right?
Yeah.
What if we do win?
Yeah.
It's like you got TV, just for TST, we're bringing it back to context. When we first, I mentioned a couple of people, like, yeah, but what if you lose every game? I said, yeah, but what if we win every game?
Yeah.
What if we win $1 million?
Yeah.
What if I get
so then what? Yeah. It's always the what if.
Yeah.
And
but
the
why couldn't what if be positive?
And the what if is what scares most people, and that's why you kind of get stuck in that.
Yeah.
But if you can get over that and be like, you know what, like let's just go, let's try it, even try it once.
Yeah.
Then you start to unlock and start to roll, right? Which is again why we're all here. So it's interesting.
It's just a wild ride that just continues, and I'm already thinking, what are we gonna do next? Because I want to have something rolling next.
I like that.
I've got a couple of things that I was speaking to Amrik about.
Yeah.
And Gunveer as well, who's come from Canada.
Yeah. He's got some
there's
ideas too.
There's something there.
There's always something we're working on in the background. Whether there's one person, multiple, there's always things happening.
Yeah.
And that's also why it's nice bringing everyone together, because like you said, knowledge, experience, everything is just different about all of us, and obviously connecting in certain ways too.
Yeah.
But like we'll think different, we may see different things, and it's like now we can bring all these values and perspectives together. And because we're here, we're gonna 100x everything, because I'm not waiting for a Zoom or a text. We're here.
Yes.
It's just it's just a good feeling, to be here.
What will happen quicker is, rather than going, let's have a Zoom call, let's arrange for it, like, got an idea, what do you reckon this? Yeah, we can boom.
Yeah.
And that's how fast we should be moving.
Yeah.
And that's the end of that motivational speech.
That's it.
Well, we're here. Listen, we're hungry. I need to eat. You need to eat. We'll just close this off, and then hopefully, I want to do this outside actually, but it's raining.
It's been raining like crazy, but like we got a couple of days. We'll do more of this.
We're gonna do another one in a couple of days.
Yes, we will.
Let's do that.
Yeah, in Kerry. We have to do
No, before Kerry.
Sure, in Kerry. Before Kerry, let's do it.
Or on the trip to Kerry.
That could be cool too.
Let's see if one of the players can join us as well.
Well, we can put the camera. I already know how to do it. Look, stay tuned. We got a lot more coming. Okay, Brown Ballers FC. June 4th, we got 2 games. June 5th, 1 game. Schedule will be in the comments. Everything's streamed on YouTube. Brown Ballers FC.